This is just a quick video to show a few of the issues we've had with the Itech Ar50S portable edge bander from Scott and Sargeant. So, we've had a few issues with the glue distribution. We've read the manual, we've messed around with all the settings, trying to get it to work. No matter what combination of settings we use, it doesn't seem to give us the result we're after. There's been a number of problems. So we've had what I'm describing as bar coding. So it's no glue, lines of glue, no glue, a bar, a line, etc. You can see here it's got bits of chipboard in it where we've had to remove it, because basically what happens is you glue the strip on, that's fine, you clip it down with the clipper, and then you use the router to finish off the edges and put the profile in. When you do that, what you'll experience, if it's got too many void areas of the glue, the router will just flick off the edge banding trim, especially if it's at the end, like on this one here. The glue's just stopped coming out. It's not like you've changed a setting midway through. It's been working seemingly fine and then stopped. So you've got this bit at the end which has no glue contact except maybe a few millimeters on the end, which is going to do nothing. You get a void, and when you route along it, this part starts flapping because of course it's not glued to the edge of the board, and that can happen anywhere here. So basically, even if it's stuck on, when you route it with the chromatic router, which is supplied as part of the kit, it rips it off. So that's one of the problems we've had, which is just bar coding, where it stops and starts, stops and starts, stops and starts. Another problem we've had is where it will be patchy or it'll just trail off. So you can see there on these larger panels, larger strips, glue, 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 and then from here you can see it just tails off. And again on this one, glue, 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 tailing off here, getting wider and wider and wider. Every time this has happened, it's had a full tank of glue in, and I've kept these strips just as demonstrations for the problems we've had. Again, this is thinner edge banding, slightly wider, and then I'd say extra wide, 40, 45 mil, I think it is, maybe 50 mil. So it's a range of material thicknesses, but it's all in 2 mil thick, which I don't think will make a difference, to be honest. Here again, these are large pieces. Just started gluing, and then no glue, hardly any. Only on one side. That's the end, but it obviously started like this. But you've also got patches where it just doesn't distribute any glue. None. A little bit, none. A little bit, none, etc. And you can see that's on multiple attempts. I've just kept a few samples to show a range of the problems we've had. This one's a good example again of how it's bar coded, and then it's only halfway for the vast majority of the rest of that piece of banding. Another problem we've had is when the glue is working, and this, I must stress, is on the same setting, you're getting the glue all the way across the band consistently, so for the most part it's working. But one of the big problems with this is it leaves an additional lip of glue on the top edge and the bottom edge, and it's not because it's been pressed against something. These ones have been tests where we've not even put a panel on it, we've just ran a strip through as a sample, and you can see it's not been pressed against anything because there's no wood grains left in the glue, whereas for example on these ones you can see wood grain that's been pulled out. The problem with this is, if I take this one, it seeps over quite a lot like that. So when that is on the panel, when that's on the panel, you get all this excess glue sitting over the top of your panel here, and obviously the top of your melamine face has a grain defect, so that glue sits in the grain and never comes out. So even when you've trimmed it down, you've done the routing, it always leaves residue of glue, and you can't really remove that. And even if you can, it's not practical. It shouldn't do that. This is the other side of it. You can just see that is too much excess glue to have. Just makes it really difficult to use. That's a small example. That would be acceptable on that side, but you can see there it's starting to put too much extra on, and that sticks over the top and makes it really difficult to trim down and finish tidily to a good standard, which is obviously what you're aiming for. So yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully we can resolve the issue. Cheers.